Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with works I collect compulsively. I can't help it. I have to have them as soon as I know they exist. And I'm often so disappointed when I get them. Oh, dear. The work in question today is Rachmaninoff's Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. This was a piece I learned when I was literally a bouncing toddler on my mother's knee because she had it and she loved it. We had, I think, Philippe Entremont with Eugene Ormandy in Philly, which is a very good performance, actually. It's not in my top 5 at the moment, although it may be, because I hadn't heard it in a long time. And then the Entremont box came out and I listened to it again and thought, geez, this is really pretty good. There are some fabulous versions of it sitting around out there. What an amazing piece. I have to confess, I have to be straight out and be honest. I love this thing 10 times more than Rachmaninoff's piano concertos. I think the concertos are a mixed bag. I really do. I mean, they have their dead spots and they're often played to death. And the irony of this whole thing is that the Rhapsody is as long as a concerto. I mean, it's 23 to 25 minutes normally. And it all in one single big, huge chunk of music. It has, in the 18th variation, a tune which is the best tune the man ever wrote in a piano concerto, quite frankly. It's amazing, and it's all the more amazing for being a literal inversion of the theme, I mean, which is just genius. And it has an ending which is as close as Rachmaninoff ever got to a sense of humor. It's actually witty and delicious, and I just can't get enough of it. I can't help myself. I must hear every version of it, no matter what. So these are my top 5. Now, again, as I've said before, this is not a repertoire video. These are not the best. I mean, I think they're up there, actually. These appear on my list of the best, of course. Why wouldn't they? Because they are amazing. But, I'm not trying to be comprehensive, or I don't want to hear any, I'm so surprised you didn't mention the version by blah, blah, blah. Well, these are the 5 that I prefer, period. And I assume you have some that you prefer. And I'd love to hear what your 5 are if you are a compulsive Paganini Rhapsody collector. I mean, that's the only barrier to entry here. I just don't want to hear which ones you like. I want to know that you collect this piece, that you love it, that you desire it, that you yearn for it, and that you listen to everyone, and you listen comparatively, and you listen regularly, and you know every single version by heart, and you know all of the instrumental detail that may have been left out in the recording, and all of that. So, yeah, be serious about it. Anyway, here are my top 5. You ready? William Kapell with Reiner. Yeah, Reiner in Chicago. Well, Reiner wasn't Chicago then. It was like Robin Hood Dell or something. I don't know what it was. On RCA, this is a mono recording, but it's in very good sound. And boy, does Kapell play the piece. Boy, it's just, whoa, it's smoking hot. Really amazing. His early death was just such a tragedy, and he was a Rachmaninoff specialist. This is a fantastic Paganini Rhapsody, and if the sonic issue, it doesn't bother you, then you really owe it to yourself to hear it. Stephen Hough with Andrew Litton on Hyperion, not the SACD. Those Hyperion SACDs did not sound very good. The regular stereo stuff is much, much better. And this is a wonderful, scintillating performance, accompanied by, Litton, who is fabulous in Russian music. He's a really terrific Russian music conductor, and Rachmaninoff is really his thing. So the whole cycle is fantastic, and the sonics are really good in stereo. So that's definitely worth hearing. Then, of course, there's Earl Wild and Yasha Horenstein on Chandos lately, or Chesky, or wherever you can find it. Oh, it's fabulous. Even Horenstein is really good in this. Horenstein is really good because as an accompanist, he keeps a steady beat. And that could be a real problem in his symphonic music where he degenerates into rigidity. But here with Earl Wild, this crazy virtuoso who can do anything and then who understands how to operate within the rhythmic framework that Horenstein provides. Oh, it's a tremendous performance with one of the best endings going. Absolutely fantastic. fantastic. Also fantastic, Arthur Rubinstein and Fritz Reiner on RCA. Another glitter. Reiner really had this piece down. He really did. If he'd done a couple more of them, we could say that he owned it in the same way that Sell owned the Brahms First Piano Concerto. I mean, he really understood how to milk the color out of Rachmaninoff's very, very cool orchestration. And Rubinstein is on his absolute best form. You know, he's elegant, he's virtuosic by turns, he's class act all the way through. It's just the variations bleed into each other very, very smoothly and effectively. It's just a fantastic performance in great living stereosonics. And last, but certainly not least, one that I have always adored, Zoltan Kocsis and Edo de Waart on Decca. Used to be Philips. This is, I think, the great modern Rachmaninoff cycle. It's pretty old. I mean, it's 30 years old now, I guess. You know, Kocsis was such a great pianist. He plays the music the way Rachmaninoff did. And you may note, I do not have Rachmaninoff's own recording on here. I don't. And the reason I don't is because it's just too old for me. You know, his orchestration of this work is such a miracle. And you've got to hear all the detail. You know, all the quiet little bits, you know, the flecks of harp and percussion and the woodwind doodads and all these things that he does to characterize each variation. And his recording is just too old. It's too flat. It's too limited in its dynamic range. There's so much more in this music. And if you want to hear what I think Rachmaninoff would have sounded like had he been around in like the 1970s and 80s, listen to Zoltan Kocsis with Edo de Waart, San Francisco on Decca, because it's quicksilver. It's swift, but it's not callous. It's not casual. It has rhythm. It has color. It's got everything. Just tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. And there are probably another, half a dozen recordings I could have put on this list as well. It's things that I like check out once in a while because I just enjoy hearing other versions of it. This is one of those pieces where one of the reasons I can't get enough of it is because it can sound so different from one performance to the next, much more so than the concertos in my view. Because there's a whole pile of variations, and each one has its own little characterization and things that you can do with it. It's just tremendous. It's a real test for a brilliant thinking pianist with amazing fingers, great virtuosity, and a true partnership with conductor and orchestra that requires really, really fine sonics. That's just what it is. And that's why I collect it compulsively. If you collect this compulsively again, please let me know what your top 5 are, or top however many, but 5 is the limit, and we'll have a conversation about it. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.